She recently decided to depart the soap after facing backlash for her controversial plot choices. But Coronation Street boss Kate Oates defended her darker storylines on Tuesday's Lorraine and said she still feels there is a nice balance on the Cobbles. The 38-year-old, who has been responsible for male rape, sex trafficking and murder scenes, explained that she wanted to create stories that matter and that the faster pace of drama is a natural progression for the soap, which now airs 6 times a week. Speaking about her recent storylines, which have received a record amount of Ofcom complaints, Kate insisted there was still a balance of comedy and drama on the show, which has been the case since the soap began. She said of her backlash, "It's an interesting one, because I still think there's a balance in the show. The Phelan story is pretty dark, but it's also an art story about a serial killer. If you're going to tell any story about a killer, it's quite hard to not be dark." Whether that's Richard Hillman from classic Corrie beating someone to death with a crowbar is pretty dark, assuring there were lighter themes interwoven with the sadder content. She added, "We've brought characters back like Peter, Daniel, and Carla. And in the block of suicide episodes, we've also got some of the best Corrie comedy we've had in such a long time." For me, the best formula is to create stories that matter, good drama and add classic Corrie elements within that. That's the holy trinity that makes the soap so strong. Adding that ratings have soared despite the allegedly controversial scenes, she said, "We're 6 episodes a week now. There's more Corrie, but the ratings are higher. So, although I understand that people say this is dark, and maybe this isn't for me, actually people aren't turning off, more people are turning on, and I can't fail but be happy about that." Kate also explained that the increase in Corrie episodes airing per week means producers have to provide more drama in order to keep viewers engaged. She continued, "With 6 episodes a week there has to be constant drama.For every cliffhanger we have to bring somebody back." When that episode finishes we have to have someone thinking, what happens next? That's why the drama is pretty pacey at the moment. I can see why people who have watched it for a really long time, when it was 2 or 3 episodes a week and that pace could be gentler, it probably feels like a bit of a culture shock. The producer confirmed she was quitting the soap last month amid criticism about her controversial plot choices and record numbers of Ofcom complaints. Kate said she was forever grateful for the job as she stepped down after 2 years, with Emmerdale's Iain taking over the reins. Kate is responsible for such storylines as David Platt's male rape ordeal, Pat Phelan's murderous spree and Bethany Platt's sex trafficking, all of which have earned ITV a barrage of official complaints from viewers. The producer also recently defended Aidan Connor's harrowing exit after it was revealed he will unexpectedly kill himself in scenes to air next month. The producer admitted she understands if some fans decide not to watch the latest tragedy on the Cobbles. Speaking to the Mirror, she said, "We have gone public with this now, so people can decide whether they want to watch it or not. I don't like spoilers a lot of the time, but this isn't that kind of story." "I would much rather people can't say I am going to find it's really hard, that is not for me." However, I would hope that, if people do feel that it is something they want to see and learn about how they might be able to help somebody, or think a bit deeper about the person next door, we could all do with thinking about these things a bit more. In episodes to be screened the week of May 7, viewers will hear that Johnny Connor has discovered his son's body in the bathroom of his Victoria Street flat after Aidan aka Shane Ward failed to turn up for work at the factory. As the news of what Aidan has done spreads, his devastated family and friends try to come to terms with the shock of their loss and begin to question why they hadn't spotted any signs that he was struggling to cope with life. His final scene will see him crying alone on his sofa. No element of the suicide will be shown on screen. Kate added Aidan's story dovetails with David Platt's perfectly after he decided to confide in Shona about what happened to him once realizing how close he was to going down the same route Aidan had. Kate added it was important David had the last word to ensure the soap's message of seeking help was not missed. She said her biggest fear was the storyline could trigger a vulnerable person watching, but concluded 84 men kill themselves each week. Not talking is not working. Coronation Street has tackled the emotional subject of suicide before, with Ken Barlow's wife Janet poisoning herself in 1977. Katie Harris also took her own life in 2005. And in 2014, Haley Cropper, who had terminal cancer, overdosed before dying in her husband Roy's arms. Meanwhile, Shane, 33, who joined the soap in 2015, said, "I am honored to have been trusted with a storyline like this. It shows the confidence that Kate and the team had in me to be able to play it." When you get given a storyline like this, it is a decision that is not taken lightly. I have played it with as much honesty and truth as I could. I am very proud of what I have done in my 3 years on the show, and on this storyline in particular. Aidan is an everyman figure. He is someone men can identify with, which is important in telling the story. We hope that anyone who recognizes something of themselves in Aidan will realize they can, and really should, talk about how they're feeling. Talking could have helped Aidan to turn his life around. It could have brought him relief from what he was going through. This is what his loved ones would have wanted. Suicide is a very permanent response to what are usually temporary problems. For confidential support, call the Samaritans on 116,123 or visit a local Samaritans branch. See www.